Hello, my name is Ashley Rayner, and I am the branch manager for the Greater Grand Crossing branch of the Chicago Public Library. Welcome to Snacks in the Stacks, where I'm going to show you some of the great cookbooks in our collection, make some delicious food, and teach you that trying new recipes can be fun. This program is part of the 2021 Book One Chicago season, exploring the theme Beyond Borders and the book Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. For more information on other virtual events, blogs, recommended reading lists, and more, visit onebookonechicago.org. I don't have any credentials for my cooking skills. I've been cooking since I was 9 years old, and 9 years later, I have a passion for making food and eating it, as well as sharing it with friends and family. Since we've all had to cook at home a lot more, I've been going through some of the cookbooks in the Chicago Public Library collection, and I wanted to share with you some of my favorites. My branch has an extensive and wide-ranging cookbook section, and I love going through and finding some type of cuisine I've never made yet. And I've got a strict and exacting review board to deal with, aka my husband and daughter. I encourage you to put the cookbooks I use on hold and try them out yourself. We can put a link to the cookbook below so you can grab it from your local branch. The book I'm going to use today is the Adobo Road Cookbook, a Filipino food journey by Marvin Gabultos. When I first looked at this cookbook, I loved it so much I had to buy it for myself. Gabultos does a great job of making his recipes accessible. For example, there are several ingredients that are difficult to find unless you live close to a Filipino grocery store, like calamansi and cane vinegar. Gabultos provides substitution and gives lots of suggestions on how to make each recipe your own. Today, we're making chicken adobo with garlic fried rice. Now, if you've cooked a little bit, the name adobo might sound familiar. The term is used in Spanish, Mexican, and Filipino food. It comes from the word adobar, or to marinate. Spanish adobo is a pickling sauce made from olives, vinegar, and spices. Mexican adobo uses crushed chilies, vinegar, and spices to make a thick, spicy rub. And Filipino adobo marinates meat and vegetables in soy sauce, garlic, and vinegar. When the Spanish came to the Philippines and colonized the country, there were obvious similarities between the two styles of cooking, but each were developed independently. They still called it adobo though. My understanding is that everyone has their own preferences for adobo, and I'm no different, but I'm going to do it close to the recipe and let you know when I use one of the substitutions Gabultos has provided. This is basically the Filipino national dish, so I hope I can do it justice. The Adobo Road Cookbook also has bell pepper, mushroom bacon, and pork adobo if you're not a chicken fan. So I know that Halloween is coming up, and if you have any vampires in your house, you probably shouldn't make this because it requires 6 to 8 cloves of garlic. Now I love garlic, so I always do more. So this is 8 cloves of garlic, and they're crushed. You can dice them if you want, but the crushing is very therapeutic, and they turn out really nice in the dish because then you have these like sweet garlic bits that you can eat with the chicken. So that's 8 cloves of crushed garlic. I did all my crushing and cutting off screen because I didn't want there to be any accidents on the video. I have about a teaspoon of peppercorns and 2 bay leaves. This is a half cup of soy sauce and a cup of vinegar. They want you to do half of that, but you can always double it if you want more sauce. So I always double it because I always want more sauce. And then I have 6 chicken thighs. And these are boneless, skinless. The recipe asks for bone in, skin on, but I don't really like chicken skin unless it's fried. So I just use boneless, skinless because it's easier for me. And so the sauce is going to be really good on the fried rice. So we want to make sure that we have lots of that. So speaking of fried rice, this is the rice that I made yesterday. You always want fried rice when you're making it for the rice to be dry and like a day old or two. If you make the rice the same day, it's going to be mushy and soggy, and it's just not going to turn out good. Please trust me, I have done it many times and it never turns out the way it should. So this is about 4 cups of cooked rice, maybe. I just kind of use what I have. Also, of course, there's garlic in it, and you can use 6 to 8 cloves, so you know, of course, I use 8, smashed again. You're going to use about 2 tablespoons of some high heat oil, so like canola or vegetable, I don't know if you can see it in there, and then about a teaspoon of kosher salt. I don't use a lot of salt. I don't add a lot of salt to stuff, But you know, since the ingredient list is pretty small, a little bit of salt really works with this dish. So those are their ingredients. Let's go ahead and get started. So when you're making this, you want to get a nice big kind of flat pan like this. You want it to be something non-reactive because the vinegar will react with stuff like iron or copper. So you want it to be something like stainless steel. And you want it to be something that has a lid because we're going to cover it to cook later. So we're basically just going to put everything in together. So I'm going to put in the soy sauce. I'm going to put in the soy sauce. I'm going to put in the vinegar. Try not to splash. I'm going to put in the peppercorns and the bay leaves. And then finally my favorite, the garlic. And then at the very last part, I'm going to put in my chicken. And I'm just going to kind of nestle it in. It's not really fancy. There's no wrong way. And like I said, this is 6. It's really easy to double this recipe too. And once you make it, you're going to be like, yeah, I really wish I had like double of this. Yeah, that's it. So we're now going to turn this on. And we're going to bring it up to a boil. So I just put it on high. Okay, so we can see we've got some bubbles going. I'm going to kind of smush everything around to get some more sauce on top of things. And then I'm going to turn the heat down to a simmer. Nice simmer. So real low heat. And that sauce is going to do its magic for like 20 minutes. So I'm going to put the lid on and we're going to simmer it. We're not going to touch it. We're not going to look at it for 20 minutes. Okay, so 20 minutes have passed like magic. I'm going to check on the chicken. Oh my God, it smells so good. So what we're going to do is just turn everything over. We're going to get it kind of like basted in that sauce. And we're going to cook for another 10 minutes, which gives us a perfect time to do our fried rice. Okay, so this has been heating up a little bit, and basically you can tell if it's ready by putting some water on it. Oh, and it's evaporating on impact. Let me do it some more for effect. It just looks cool. I'm not really doing it. It just looks cool when you do that. So I'm going to add my oil. Let it get nice and warm. I'm going to swirl it around. Very fancy. You can see it's already pretty hot. It heats up pretty quick. And I'm going to break up a little bit more of my rice while the oil comes up. If this is your first time making, this is a very simple fried rice, as you're going to see. If it's your first time making fried rice, let me know. I love making fried rice. There are lots of different combinations. You can get really fancy with the vegetables and the protein and sauces. So let me know. All right, that was good. So we're gonna add the garlic. It's already sizzling, which is good. And you're not gonna cook it for too long because you don't want it to burn. Burnt garlic is the worst. But you're really trying to get some of that garlic flavor into the oil. Oops. Maybe a little too much garlic flavor. I'm just kidding. There's no such thing. And you want it to kind of get, I'm moving them around too much. You kind of want them to get brown. I'm breaking up clumps while I wait for that to happen. You don't want clumpy rice. Let's see how we're doing. Nope. It smells so good. I love garlic. I don't know if you can tell. Okay. It's starting to brown a little bit on this one. So you can tell it's like, yeah, look at that. Good. So I'm going to add the rice. And so, I was talking about clumps. There's one big one. If you want to break that up as best you can. Have you guys been making anything fun? Like I'm really bad at like baking. So I've been trying to do like dough, like bread. And I made this loaf of bread like, you know, maybe in March. And my dad was so kind. He was like, oh, it's really good. And I was like, oh, thanks for lying to me, Dad. Thanks for making me feel better. So, let's see. I think we're declumped. So now I'm going to stir it around. I'm going to get all that good oil all over all of it. See? Look at that. Oh my gosh. This looks so crispy. Yeah, you're just, and I have made the mistake so many times of getting like a small, like too small of a pan. Don't do that. Just get your biggest pan and it'll work a lot better. Because, you know, you see we're doing a lot of tossing and moving around and smushing. So, and I'm going to let it go a little bit longer. But I'm going to put this salt on it first. That's pretty good. You can always do it to taste too, so I might not do all of it. I don't eat a lot of salty stuff, so that should be good. Okay. Can probably. All right. So I cooked the rice a little bit longer, and then I've kind of kept it on low so we can keep it warm while the chicken finishes. I want you to try it. It's really good. It's really simple, but really tasty. And I'll let you know how the basics of how to stir fries, or to do fried rice anytime you want. So the chicken cooked for another 10 minutes. I turned it, you can turn it a couple more times just to make sure it gets all in the sauce. But at this point it's cooked through. And so what I'm gonna do is take it out and put it on this plate. And then we're gonna reduce the sauce. So basically that just means we're gonna concentrate it by cooking off some of the liquid. And so you're just gonna turn it up off of this, because right now it's still on simmer. We're gonna turn it up to a higher temperature and just let it go. Like 5 minutes or so. Okay. But yeah, the rice is done and it's really quick. So far so good, right? Not too difficult. Good. So it's been about 5 minutes. I think the sauce is reduced enough, so I'm gonna turn it off. And I'm gonna put the chicken back in. Toss it around again. It's really like, it's falling apart at this point. And just kind of toss it around so I get some of that. See, there it's like falling apart. It's really tender. So it gets all in the sauce. And that is it. That is chicken adobo with garlic fried rice. Oops, I've got this piece. So, to plate it, I'm just going to put the rice in a bowl. I like to get the garlic pieces. That's like my favorite part. A little bit more. And then, I just do one chicken thigh on top. And I'm going to use this little sauce. The sauce is like really the best. Oh, look at that. My little roasted garlic all falling apart. That is the best. This is so sweet. I know it sounds so simple, but the flavors really develop into something tangy and delicious. It's not salty, but rich and flavorful. The smashed garlic gets all soft and sweet. I always sneak those for myself. And if you want, you can take your newly learned fried rice skills, chop up your leftover adobo, crisp it up in a pan with some oil, and make adobo fried rice. I usually serve this with green beans or broccoli, blanched and then tossed with oyster sauce, garlic, and shallots. The recipe is in the cookbook too. I take recipes as just suggestions. If you want to add chili peppers or use ground pepper instead of peppercorns, that's great. It may not be authentic anymore, but if you like it, that's what really matters. Don't be afraid to try something just because you don't have all the ingredients. Just don't get too ambitious and, I don't know, use cucumber in your spicy chili or something. Not that I would know anything about that. Don't do it. Once again, I'm Ashley Rayner, and this has been Snacks in the Stacks.